Our parlay did not do great.
Bro. I lost. I'll tell you. I think I lost.
All right, wait, let's hit the record button. Oh, we're recording?
Oh no.
What's up, everybody? What?
Yo, the way you laugh.
I was just like, what?
What is going on right
Tough
now?
start.
The villainous laugh.
Me.
Man, welcome back to the Weekly Scraps. I just want to start off by saying our parlay did not do very well.
I think everyone's parlay kind of busted very early on in that night.
Yeah, tough one.
That was a tough night for everyone.
That was my DraftKings
Oh
pick that I
yeah.
gave people.
A lot
Like,
of people, right?
like, we're definitely winning this.
So you owe a lot of people now.
I don't owe anybody
that's a lot.
anything.
That's actually the worst thing. No, don't do that, people. If you're one of those guys, you're absolutely awful.
That's terrible. You lost me my $5. Come on, man. We lost more than that. Crazy fights, man. Unfortunate for the Long Island team. We went, what is it?
2-1.
0-2-1. Nas had a barn burn of a fight, though.
I mean, that was a hell of a fight.
That was insane.
That guy. I mean, if you like fighting, that's your guy. Like that guy definitely
come forward.
He definitely comes to fight. Not even like not everything. He gets hit, fucking bumps the, like the theatrics of it. I love that shit. Come on, man. Like that's.
I was like, Nas, we showed how tough we are. Take him down.
Yeah, that's.
End this man.
And Aldo's definitely right on that. But like when he's coming forward, fucking doing that, looking like Canelo Rolla, I'm like, all right. I love that
Canelo
shit.
Rolla.
You know I live for that shit. Like, all right, Nas, you're my guy for that. Like, that's sick. Like
That was fun.
That was fun. That was a fun fight. It's like 100% deserved fight of the night.
Did they get it? Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
I think they gave a lot of performance bonuses in general.
They needed to, man.
That was a
a lot
great
of
card.
good finishes. A lot, yeah. They need to give the bonuses, especially in the Big Apple. I feel like it should have been $100,000 bonuses. I'm just saying, you know, when Dana is gonna go to these big states like Texas, they do a big.
Yeah.
Big Apple, we do a big. You know, I'm just saying.
Like,
I'm not telling Dana what to do. I'm just saying.
No, I get that. I mean, I'm not the right guy for this because like bonuses, like just fucking pay people, whatever. Nah. Like I can't talk about that stuff here. But you know what I'm talking about. Like that's crazy. Like just bonuses.
Other than that, man, that was a rough one for the boys. But you know, the one thing, especially for Dennis, the one thing I told him in the back room was like, you got to remember, like, keep in perspective. Merab also lost his first 2 UFC fights.
That's a good point too.
And then he went on a freaking rampage.
He's still on it right now.
Okay, I'm calm.
Dennis, 26 years old. You know, again, I don't think he's shown nearly what he's capable of, especially like in the UFC. I think,
yeah,
not just based on that alone. Like I think people should give him a little more time to show what he's actually. I mean, what we see, like, no, because he's phenomenal. Really, he is amazing.
Chasing a dream, man. At the end of the day, we're all in there doing the same thing. This sport is crazy. Every time you take the shin guards off, you take off the boxing gloves, and you go from the 16s to the 4 ounces or the 7 ounces to the 4 ounces. It's a different game. I watch these guys, and I'm just like, yo.
Jesus Christ.
These guys are in there throwing, bro. Like, throwing. I'm sitting there cage side watching this. I'm like, yo, bro. How do I do this? I really don't. I am mind blown that I've gotten as far as I did. Not because of like lack of skill, in the sense of like just knowing what it costs.
Yeah.
Because you pay to do this. You pay a price, whether it's in the gym or out there under the lights. When I watch it, I'm like, yo, this sport is wild.
That's fascinating. I think when he says that, because like Aldo, you're an actual world champion. Like that's what like 1% of the 1% of fighters who ever do this thing, like any sports in general, like aspire to be to. Like, how about this? Because we got a lot of guys at the gym who like say they want to be fighters and stuff like that. Like, looking back now, would you recommend to yourself like get into? And it's easy to say like in retrospect, but you know, like think about that. Like
Looking back now,
you definitely would, right? Like for you.
For me,
but
because I know me,
but you know that's
I know what I do up here,
but
and
there's
I know
a lot
what
of
I do in here.
guys who think they know. You know, like you meet them all the time too. They're like, bro, I got that dog in me, and then you know, like all of a sudden you see them spar for the first time. Like, oh, they don't got that dog in them.
Like, let me see X-rays.
Yeah, no dog.
No
you know,
dog,
like,
no
like,
dog
you know,
present.
like that's why, like, you know, again, I talked about today, like Delemy at our gym, who's fighting CFFC next month, December 15th.
I'm gonna miss that, unfortunately.
Damn,
it's a rough one.
Nah, he's gonna be fine. He's undefeated prospect, guy's an animal. But like, yeah, I think 4 or 5-0 now.
I'm actually sad that I'm gonna miss this.
he's gonna kill the guy. I mean, he's gonna do the right thing regardless. You know, but no, this is what he was saying too. Like exactly what Aldo was just saying too. He's like, well, the sport sucks. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's it's the best sport. It really is. But like at the same time, like the margin for error is this. Like it's so insane. Like he comes in like, bro, what the fuck? Like I mean, we're gonna talk about all of them, but like Jared Gordon, that short little right. That's it. That's all it took. The guy flatline. Like think about even Pereira, who is a monster.
He shut him off.
How crazy
Jared.
is that? Pat Sabat. Like think about all these fights. Like that's why we were talking about it before the show. Like imagine like if 10-ounce MMA, it could be a completely different thing. But with those 4-ounce gloves, the margin for error is so nothing that like just statistically, I think that's kind of what you're saying too.
Yeah,
like,
especially now.
Yeah, now. I mean,
everyone's so skilled, even at the regional level. So even for me, like if you're talking about now versus back then, me talking to my younger self, in this era, I'm probably telling my guy like, you know, there's a chance, but you know, it's dangerous out there.
But you're saying like you at that time, you were like, I see my opportunity.
Yeah, like
these guys aren't
wrestle everybody. Dude, I told my brothers, I was like, yo, bro, we can be 4 or 5 brothers in the UFC.
Just
which
wrestling.
would be unheard of, just wrestle fucking everybody and piss pounding the shit out of them.
This is amazing. That's actually amazing.
So basically, Khabib's whole team.
No,
Khabib's whole team. This is what my brothers and I would have been. We'd have been the Sterling clan.
Okay.
But that's just how much the sport has evolved. Because back then,
time.
like guys were just so technically bad that they were giving up all these openings for takedowns and leaving themselves exposed defensively. Once they hit the ground, they don't know what to do. Where now it's like, bro, good luck.
Well, you say that, but like to be fair, you still see. I mean,
you still see some poor grappling.
Even who's my favorite? Like this guy's actually my favorite fighter. Like Pereira. I saw Marvin Vettori tweet this today. He's like, you know, all respect to Pereira, but I think I beat him today. And I'm like, shit. Like, yeah, Vettori, I see your argument. Like Vettori can kind of wrestle. He's tough, like gritty. Well, like I'm saying he won't get caught at some point because Pereira can do that to anybody. But I do see Vettori's point. Doesn't matter. He's never gonna get that fight. Like unless Pereira gets on a crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be a lot of things stacked in your favor
for the stars so long.
Yeah, because like Pereira, he's got a couple fights in the UFC now, but
let's be honest, he would never have been here if it wasn't for the Israel story.
1,000%. And again, that's what I love about.
Let me clarify.
Yeah.
Not that he would never have ever become what he has become today. He would never have been fast-tracked.
Pushed to this level.
There could be some more roadblocks where he might not have gotten here this soon, or maybe he would have questioned it and maybe not even take this many fights because he's not like he's super young.
100%.
So there's a lot that goes into that.
No, that's what I'm saying too. Like, I think that's absolutely the hardest part about it. Like, that's why I always loved like the GSPs, like the Silvas, like just statistically the odds of defending, like against all these guys gunning for you, and the same thing coming up. Like again, I think that's why everyone at the gym always respects what Aldo did, just in the sense that like he beat the guys they put in front of him, like a lot of top contenders. He had to beat like stylistic, and that's the coolest thing about MMA, like all the different style matchups. Like he had to face all of those to get there. Pereira, they didn't really. I'm the biggest Pereira fan, by the way. Like low-key, like he's actually my favorite fighter, but he never had to face that. They were like, this guy kind of strikes. This guy can wrestle, won't. This, you know what I'm saying? Like they keep putting him in there with good. Even Jiri, who I'm also a huge fan of. Like he's not this stud wrestler, and he was still able to get him.
Get him down.
Yeah, get him down and control. Like, but again, doesn't matter.
It is also the upper weights.
No, it's true. That's a very good point too.
When Bo Nickel rises up through the ranks, I am going to be very intrigued to see how he does, because I do think if he can just weather the storm of someone just coming after him with crazy hands down the middle, up the middle, front kicks, knees, and not get rattled by that, and can still somehow not get clipped and take a guy down, bro, he's going to be. He's gonna be
that guy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really tough dude to beat.
No, I agree. I mean, again,
and he's got some dynamite in his hands.
Clearly. So I'm a huge Bo Nickel guy too. So I think if he gets, I think eventually he's gonna get to a top point, just because I think they're gonna push him, and he has got the skills to do it.
Him and Hamza, can't wait.
That's it.
But I just so we're not drifting off too much, I'm pretty much saying like the odds of someone becoming successful today to go from amateur career to pro career and not have any hiccups along the way, to become that undefeated prospect, to get to the UFC undefeated, to possibly have to go through the contender series now, which means you're fighting another prospect, usually it's another good prospect, and then you have to show Dana that you belong because you need to entertain. And usually when you're fighting another prospect, it's a lot harder to just highlight somebody unless you're both just fighting like absolute maniacs.
Yeah.
Because you need to impress Shang Tsung. Mortal Kombat reference. With that being said, and then to get to the UFC, have your debut, and to have everything go right. We've seen, I hate using this reference all the time, even like JP. He's one of the most talented,
Yeah.
skillful guys. And for him to go 0-4, when he goes tooth and nail for myself, Marab, Javid, Farid, some of these other guys he spars with, I believe Cody, and I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
How? This sport is unforgiving.
No.
And if you're lucky and you get lucky enough times, you could eventually fight for a world title. If you have the good entertainment factor where you know what to do in terms of tattoos on your face and dyeing your hair funny colors, maybe that's another angle.
Yeah.
But you got to also have the skills to back it up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like you need the stars to align when you don't have to fight all the top contenders, when you have the right path. It's different. But it's just unforgiving, man. Like to see how some of these guys work so hard for Vola, Nas, Dennis, work their asses off. I'm not saying the other guys don't.
Of course.
It's just you just never know
Yeah.
what this when you step in there what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why like even Nas, like you could argue he won, draw whatever you want, but the guy doesn't mind fighting. Like clearly, like he'll fight. You know, like I think you have to be like that now, like because you're like I was just saying, like unless you got that it factor where the UFC just wants to push you, like there's a good chance you're gonna lose. Like everyone's gonna meet Al at some point coming up, and if that deters you early on, then this isn't for you. Like I don't know what else to say about that.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, it's a tough gig.
I thought I was gonna be undefeated, the next John Jones,
You're pretty
and
close.
then I lost to Brian Caraway.
Yeah, but he had the cool full Nelson on him, and he had the. I mean,
I'm saying that should have been a draw still, but you know, whatever.
uh,
Rafael Sansel lost to him, and then go back, win 2 fights, beat Henan Barrow, and then go and lose to Marlon Moraes, and then come back and then win 9 in a row. So it's a tough thing, man.
I think that highlights it. Like again, like you lost to Marlon. Like that's a lot of guys too. Like you lose like that. That's like you don't really come back the same. And I think that's something that people don't really, put into account. Like I think you fought like 2 or 3. You fought like 3 months later, something ridiculous. But again, you did it the smart way. You did it. I get what you're saying. You did it intelligently. Like, but that was a risky fucking move.
I was like, you guys try to hit me, just know
Yeah.
I'm only wrestling.
But that's a.
I'm only wrestling.
But even that, just against Brett Johns, against another like at the time undefeated like prospect.
Yeah.
That's
I needed my paycheck though.
yeah. And again, Marab too. You talked about too. 0-2, going starting on this UFC. On this like insane run, but like never. I don't want to say never deterred because it's disheartening. But to just still have that fucking mental fortitude to just be like, all right, I'm just gonna do what I do though, and just again keep doing it. Like I think
But
that's.
the fun fact about that is Marab actually did quit.
Oh, that is true. You're right. Yeah. That's true.
He did quit after losing on the regional circuit, I think twice.
Yeah, I don't know if that story's told enough, but I think that's one of those
Yeah.
things like people really should know about.
That story.
I think Marab would do a better job of telling the story, but he did quit on the regional circuit and went back to work in construction because he thought fighting wasn't for him because he was the man in his country, killing everyone, winning all these fights, winning all these competitions. He comes
to the
over.
US, yeah.
He said he trained with me for the first time, and then he got submitted a couple times, and he was just kind of like,
What the fuck?
his world got turned upside down. Like, you have a perception of yourself and what you think you're gonna do. That young invincibility, same thing I had.
Yeah.
And then you get hit with reality when you run into someone who's about that life. And long story short, he had 2 hiccups along the way. I think Ricky Mendejas and another guy, and he stopped fighting. He stopped coming to the gym. I didn't even notice that he stopped coming to the gym. I thought he was just taking a break. Like you take downtime after you lose or after you win, but he was just gone.
Yeah.
I can't
I
remember
think he said he
exactly
went
how
back to.
long.
I think he said he went back to Georgia. He was gone for months though, based on.
Was
his-
it that long? I couldn't remember how long it was.
And then finally something just made him decide like, nah, I can't. I
Came
gotta-
back,
Yeah.
gave it one more run. I think he rattled off 4 or 5 wins. Knocked out Rafian Stotts.
Yeah, who's killing it still too.
Yeah, on Dana White looking for a fight, and now look at him now. Should be fighting for a world title. Somehow got shafted, but
Again, that's the you gotta get the push too.
yeah.
When you in like the middle of your career, when you had like 2 losses, a win, and then the Marlon fight, right?
Yeah.
How uncertain were you about your position then?
At that point, I was just like, I'm just gonna fight to make money. I'm not even thinking about the belt anymore. I was just like, let me just fight to make money, and try to get as many fights as I can and try to be a company man. Hopefully they give me another contract depending on how the next few fights go. Because I know if you get knocked out and highlighted like that, usually they're trying to highlight you a couple more times and then tell you thanks for coming. Thank you for your service. That's pretty much how that is.
But you were at that point, you were thinking of like, all right, I just got to go to work. Like,
Yeah, that was it. I'm punching the clock.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm here.
And do you think that helped you, or do you think that?
Yeah, I think it took the stress off. My worst fear was always getting knocked out. Then I got knocked out. I was like, oh, that wasn't even that bad. I mean, I don't remember from when I saw the knee head first and I got clipped. I don't remember anything from there to the hospital when I finally came to, and it was in the hospital bed.
Yeah.
It wasn't like on the way to the hospital. It was like in the hospital bed. I finally came to my senses. And that's when I kind of started to be like, you know, this, if I'm going to take a chance, I got to be a little bit smarter, be a little bit more calculated, stick to my strengths. So that's when I started wrestling more, but only lighting up the hands when I found the opening, Brett Johns. When I found the opening, when we disengaged from the clinch, and I was like, all right, he's tired now. Bop, 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 throwing my punches, and then he threw something back. I was like, okay, we're wrestling again. So it's just one of those type of things. I did figure it out, my style and how to win with lowering the risk of marginal error by two guys standing in the pocket and they're banging, bro, and they're throwing punches the way that they're throwing with just these. Dude, you saw how Jared Gordon put this guy's lights out. Just
That was crazy.
right above the ear, right on the ear. Just the guy melted. It was, I've never seen it.
Even Diego Lopez, Pat Sabatini, I just wasn't.
It's crazy.
Come on, like that's what I'm saying. The margin for error, like so small. Like you see guys, that's what I'm saying in MMA gyms too, like with big gloves, even like 7-ounce gloves. Like they can move with punches way easier. They can take a good shot with those. Like
Guys go at it.
yeah, and they can like swing with those. But those 4-ounce gloves, like I do think,
Bro,
unless you're one of those Thai guys that I don't know.
The fights would be better with 7-ounce gloves.
I think people would be shocked at how much. Yeah, like the skill. How about this? The skill would be much more higher or shown more with 7-ounce gloves. How about that?
Yeah, because you're not putting people to sleep as easily, and people can sit there and they can actually trade a lot more. So I think the fans will be more rewarded. Kind of like how you see boxing fights when guys can sit there and they can
Swing,
trade
stay
and be in the
there whole
pocket.
time.
It'll be more like that, except you can still have the grappling aspect of it. And I think that's what would make it cool.
I think for fans, you're never gonna want to push it backwards. I 100%. Yeah.
But is that really pushing it backwards?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like the 4-ounce gloves are fucking. I mean, yeah, whatever. Like people are kind of crazy. Like,
Dude, I hit myself with the puffies, and then I hit myself with the fours.
the fours are.
I'm like, yo, bro.
There's no, dude. The four. Okay, like if you've never been hit with the 4-ounce gloves, there is no difference between that and the bare knuckle, except that it pads the other guy's hand. Like that. It's for my fist, not for your face. Like there is no difference.
Yeah.
Like it's just getting hit with the fist.
Just that you're feeling some rattling in there, man. So it's unique, just to say the least. I'm just saying it's a crazy sport because whenever I go from the training room to that and I make that walk and I'm just like, yo, this is nuts.
And one of the funniest things is I remember Aljo before the Sandhagen fight, we're in the Apex, like they give Aljo his gloves and like whatever, he puts his shorts on and he's literally just like, this is crazy. Like he's like, this is literally before like technically the biggest fight of his life at that time, and he's like, holy shit! Like every time they give me these, like he has the gloves on. Every time they give me this, I'm just like, this is crazy what we do. Like, and he's literally telling me this. I'm like, this is hilarious. Like he's just like, man, like this is it. Like no shin guards, nothing. We're just going out there like this. Like I feel naked. All right, let's go. I'm like, this is I'm like, oh shit. All right, I guess we're walking now.
Yeah, naked and afraid.
But no, you're right.
You're afraid of what's going to happen. Maybe afraid is not the right word for everyone that they would use, but essentially it could be kind of, what's the word?
Aware?
Synonymous. Oh. Thank you, Jake. I think that's kind of how most people feel, the anxiety, the anxiousness, the unknown, just like what's potentially going to happen. Like you think you know what's going to happen, but your other guy also thinks he knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And one of you guys has got to be wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that's what you meant when you were like younger. You're young and like you almost missed out because you don't know the consequences yet.
Nah.
Like you're just like,
I'm beating everybody, bro.
I can't be stopped. Yeah. Like, and then a couple times you start realizing the consequences. You're like, oh my God, that can happen? Like, holy shit.
I'm like, yo, he ain't hit me like that. I see people training and I'm just like, nah, son, he can't hit me like that. I just won't allow it. That's just what I do. I just don't allow things like that.
Yeah, I think for a while, like that's the attitude you do want to have. But against like the higher level guys too, you're just like, holy shit, these guys are good, aware, like they know the consequences. They'll make sure you suffer them and they don't for a while,
That ass. Well, let's start with the main event, Jiri and Pereira. That was a great fight.
Dude, Pereira's the fucking man. The stare down before that fight was the coolest shit I've ever seen, by the way. Like They
It was
just,
like this felt like a old school.
bro, they did the over the shoulder cam.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's just
oh my
like-
god, like this is about to be a battle. Like it was the coolest shit. They even at one point they're doing Jerry's face, and I've never seen them do this. They just zoomed in.
So
All of a
close.
sudden, I'm like, what is going on? Like that was the again, I live for that shit. So that was the sickest fight, like build up for me. Like I've seen in a very long time. And Poatan, man, come on, that guy's that when you think of like fighter, as just as like a kid, I don't know. I'm like that's the anime character. Like that's the real dude. Like that's the real life. This man is just one punch man sleeping people. I'm like, dude, how fucking sick is that though? Like
Just know anytime you close the distance on this guy and he can lean to his left, just know he's coming back to his right with something heavy.
Oh my lord.
Nuclear.
Even that I thought it was the right hand that dropped him, but it like hits him with the right.
And then it comes back
Boom!
with the left. The
Oh
left is
my-
what sat him down.
I can't even just like, dude, the guy's just vicious. Like when he's in on the leg, he's just elbowing him to death.
He's like, make sure they're legal. Make sure
I'm
they're
like,
legal.
yeah,
Make sure
I'm
dealers
like,
are all legal.
oh my god, that's a violent man. Like I love, and again, the fight itself awesome. I love how I thought the cooler part of it because it was like just it wasn't like a barn burner crazy fight. It was just I love the build up, everything. Even the post fight I thought was phenomenal for both guys. Like I respect Jerry for saying what he said. I still thought I could understand give him a little more room to move. But I love the fact that Jerry was like, look, is what it is. He got me. I was out.
He was out.
He was out, no question. Like you don't let a guy get into mount like that.
But then he came back.
Yeah. And also
in that mount position. But just because he came back doesn't mean he was actually with it.
Yeah.
So to us, it looks like he was with it, which I can say, all right, maybe you should have given him
the benefit of the doubt.
one or two more
Yeah.
punches, maybe three.
Yeah.
But I don't think in that situation, after getting your leg shut out, because he went limp.
Mm-hmm.
After he dropped him, then he went limp when he was getting elbowed in the head, and he kind of fell on top of him. And then when he started to
That
wake
was
back
it.
up, that was like, I don't think at that moment he knew what was actually going
No, I
on.
agree with
And
that.
I could be wrong.
No, I agree with that.
But that's what it looked like to
Yeah.
me. And then I'm saying if he took 1 to 3 more punches, I think it would have been okay because it's a championship level and you just never know.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not in Yuri's brain to know how he's feeling at that moment. But at the same time, I think just based on what happened earlier and him going completely limp and then kind of just falling into mount like that, taking one more shot, I think it was a good stoppage, but at the same
Yes.
time, I wouldn't be upset if they let it go a little
Exactly.
bit longer and
Yeah.
take a couple more shots just to good measure to be like, okay, now there's a nail in the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're definitely not getting out.
Yeah.
And is that wrong or right? I know some people are like, what do you want to see someone die in there? I'm like, guys, we're already watching at the end of it. I mean,
That's
I
what
don't
you signed
I
up
hate
for.
using these words. I don't want to call it a blood sport, but we are essentially lusting for blood.
It's violence.
That's what
Like,
people want. We want violence. We
Yeah.
want to see who's the most violent man when they get in there or violent woman.
Yeah.
So-
I was gonna say, and to Jerry's credit, like, I mean, again, completely different situation because he landed up on top, but like he did say in the Dominic Reyes fight, he landed that up kick and he got knocked out in that fight too. Like he admitted that as well. As like, yo, Dominic Reyes up kicked him. He got knocked out and he woke up inside mount. He was inside mount, luckily, when he woke up. But he was like, I mean, again, like the sport. That's what I'm saying. The sport is crazy. Like it just is what it is.
Yes.
And again, I love Pereira for the call out. Not even just because of I think it is what he did was actually super disrespectfully respectful. Like again, because he's just like, dude, like I want to call this guy out because he kind of saved his life, and I think that's kind of what you were alluding to earlier. Like if Adesanya wasn't where he was at, and the champ at the time, then Pereira isn't going to get fast tracked to that title shot. And Pereira, I think, is again just a very aware guy, fucking hilarious too. I think but he said the same thing. Like this guy kind of saved my life because he called me out. Said I was just gonna be another guy at the bar, saying I beat that guy one time, and then I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm about to body this guy. So he fucking trained his ass off, got to the position he is, and then he did the same thing to Adesanya. He's like, oh, this guy said he's gonna sit out till 2027. That's a waste of talent. Like I want this guy next. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like that to me is again just as a very respectful thing to do in the most coolest way possible. Like, yo, daddy's here. I'm like, yo. But again, awesome, very disrespectful, but super respectful.
Yeah, and Izzy was just kind of like, I sleep good at night. I was
Yeah.
like, that. I mean, I just
100%.
respectful.
Can't be mad at that either.
Respectfully,
Respect.
I get it.
Yeah.
You got the last one, so it's okay.
I would do that. Yeah. You're playing Super Smash Bros. Like they might beat you 10 times in a row, but I got the last game.
I got the last win.
I'm going to bed on the dub, and that's fine. I get it too.
Dana said they probably wouldn't give Izzy that fight right away. They would make him fight once they feel
That's fair too.
I mean, he needs to. I mean, he lost his one fight at 205.
Yeah.
He just lost to Strickland.
Yeah.
For him to come right up into a title shot, I think after the heat, the fans have kind of shown for rematches, especially when they try to say, let's do it. They think the rematch is interesting. I think we do the rematch. And then one of the reporters asked him again at another event, maybe like a week or two later, and he said, well, I never said we were doing it. And he said, I said we were thinking about doing it. I'm like, what a save.
Yeah, no, look.
Like, let's be technical here, but
look.
you did kind of say we're doing the rematch. But
And look, to be fair,
I think we do. Let me.
yeah, exactly. Like,
I think we do the rematch.
even if he doesn't say that, doesn't matter. You can just do whatever you want here. But like, I think, look, I do think the storyline for that fight is amazing, and I think if the UFC, like, it's like by all logic, he lost his only fight at 205, Adesanya. He lost his last fight to Strickland. If the UFC thinks that fight will make them millions and millions of dollars, they'll make Adesanya versus Pereira tomorrow. And so if they can build that up the way they want to build that up, the story, whatever, all that stuff, it doesn't matter. They'll do it. And I think if Adesanya wanted to, again, if he really wants to, I don't think he does, because it's just like, again, why would he? He's made his money. He's chilling. You know?
Oh, he's gonna go fight this
monster Pereira. Like,
now at 205,
Yeah,
where
like-
he's not cutting weight.
yeah, and the guy, again, looks like he's got power at whatever weight. Like,
Nah, son.
um,
I sleep good at night too.
yeah,
That's what I'm
100%.
saying.
No, and Adesanya, I know he was making, he had a great contract by all accounts. So like, no, let the guy, dude. I do get it. The guy's been fighting for what 15, 20 years. Like, if the guy wants to chill, dude, chill. All the respect in the world to you guys.
Yeah, but no, that was a great fight. I mean, Blachowicz was saying something on Twitter too, kind of calling him like slimy or whatnot. I saw, and you know what's weird? There was a fan that responded and he said, I read the comments. I know people are saying like, why do you read? I read the comments. I like to enjoy the sport just like everybody else. Let me be one of you and read the comments and talk shit and have a little banter.
He does. That's true.
But I do this. They were saying like, Jane, you're a nice guy. You should just stick to being who you are instead of trying to be this fake persona. And I'm just like, so if someone, like you and I fighting, because I'm a nice guy, means I gotta be nice to you
Always,
all the time?
24/7, online, everywhere.
Like, what type of nonsense is that?
No, Blachowicz is, by the way, like 100% right. Like, dude, he's technically the number 1, number 2 contender, and he's here in like this middleweight that's never won a fight at 205 that you beat.
Yeah.
Is Mike leapfrog you? I'd be tight too, and again,
100% he should be tight. Like, how you tell him that you're nice? What's he gonna say? Respectfully, guys, I really do believe I should be next. So can you guys just, really just
Please give
behave
me the shot,
and
please.
just please let me have what I earned?
no, it's not how it works. Again, but look, if it was how it's supposed to be, Merab would be the guy right now. There's a million scenarios of this, by the way.
Yes.
It's just like, it is what it is. Like, that's the business side of it too, and you got to be able to roll along with all that. I mean, again, clearly Pereira, like, as amazing of a fighter as he is too, like, he got pushed by that. Sean O'Malley, as amazing of a fighter, you have to have that push a little bit to be at that spot.
Yeah. Oh no, good fight, man. I was happy for Pereira.
100%.
I like Jiri. Yuri.
Yeah.
Yuri.
Jerry Yuri, yeah.
I like Yuri as well. But there's something about the Cinderella story for me. I'm not saying that Yuri doesn't have one, but the one that I know, which I'm more familiar with, is Pereira. And to see him do that and then go up to 205 with the least amount of fights out of probably almost everyone on the roster is insane to me.
2-way world champion.
That's crazy.
In kickboxing and UFC now too. Come on.
Yo, that's badass, dude.
That's amazing.
And it's not like when I watch him hit pads and stuff, I always say like, this is before like of late. Like now I think he looks so much better, like crisper. For whatever reason, maybe I was just being a hater. I have no idea. But I was just like, this is a guy who's fighting for a world title. I'm like, I know I don't go out there and knock like people's lights out, but I'm watching him hit pads and it does not look
He's fine.
great.
Yeah.
Like before
The Izzy fight?
the Izzy fight. And now I'm watching him hit pads. I'm like, I see him fight, see the way he punches, see how he wins, see how he's laying that left hook. And now I'm like, there's a method to this madness.
1000%.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. And he throws the calf kick where he's just like thumping you.
Yeah. But that, I mean, Jerry's leg looked dead. Like, that thing bruised up immediately.
I was like, it's either he's really dense, he's got
probably.
some Amazon blood,
I'm thinking so,
or
yeah.
bones, as you say. I don't know. That he's a special human being.
What was the co-main?
Co-main event was Tom Aspinall.
Wow.
Sergey.
I can't believe that's disrespectful. I'm sorry.
Wow. Pavlovich. That was crazy because I thought Pavlovich had him. Because once he gets going, he's like a freight train that just can't be stopped. And Aspinall was able to, he got clipped a little, then he was able to get out of the way. And then he just found the 1,
Boom.
2.
That's it.
But the 1, it looked like he went to the body. I mean, it kind of did, but he hit him like in the chest.
Yeah.
Found the chest, just
lined
him up, found the right distance. Right hand comes over the top, clips him. And if you do watch, one of the things I've been doing is trying to figure out like the sweet spots of hitting people. And you see that one, you see the ear, obviously
right
the
on
chin.
the chin.
You see guys who do this and they shell up like this, like the Petey Yan defense, Cheeto Vera, who just takes it on the forearms. But then you hit these guys and like, what if you go around the guard and hit these guys in certain spots that you know is gonna shut the lights off? It's not easy to do, especially when you have a moving target. But this is one of the things I've been studying a lot lately to try to add to my game where, like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I ain't looking to go in there and have no freaking barn burner fight. I'm just not looking to do that. I'm not interested. I did that once with Pedro Munoz, and it was mostly me hitting him.
Yeah.
And I still ended up in the hospital,
Yeah.
and it still hurts. The couple times he did hit me, I'm still like, yo, this sucks. He cut my eyebrow. I had a little bit of a headache. Still went out and partied, but I was on crutches. It's just, I don't know. That's just, it doesn't make sense to me when I'm like, well, I do have an easier path to victory. I could just grapple.
Well, in reality, everyone should use their easiest path to victory.
What's wrong with that?
No, well, that might not necessarily get you into the UFC. That might not. That's what I'm saying. It might not get you to that spot or that push.
Well, I'm not saying go take a guy down and just lay on him because that's just not fun. I don't even like watching.
No, I get that 100%. But like, I think in this modern age of MMA, it's a little weird. I don't necessarily think it's about. It sucks because I don't think it's necessarily about being about the best or about being the best guy. And again, I'm going to go back to this. Like Pereira, my favorite fighter, like legitimately my favorite fighter. I'm not saying he's the best I don't think he's the best 205er. Like I think he's phenomenal, but the belt to me signifies that's the best guy in that weight class. And I think in this modern age of MMA, that's just not the case. And I don't think that's because people are just gonna get pushed for whatever reason. Like again, I hate to always bring it back to this, but like Pumi, who's a flyweight at our gym, I think he's the best flyweight in the world. Obviously, I'm biased. I get it. Yeah, he's only fighting on the regional scene, whatever. But if you guys see what he can do, I think he could go in tomorrow into the UFC, fight for the belt, be fine. I really do believe that. But he's just not gonna get that opportunity for whatever reason or not. But he's not, you see some of the flyweights that were on this card recently. Like I'm telling you, like Pumi could beat them in any way he wants. I truly believe that. But he's not going. He's not going to go in there have a barn burner. He's never going to be in there for a blood and Brandon Moreno blood and guts battle. But he'll 50-45 anybody. Like he'll 30-25. Like that's what like this guy. I think he could do that and not get touched if he needed to. But that doesn't unfortunately sell from the UFC's perspective. And the business model, that's just not what they want.
Pumi 50-45 turbo.
I'm telling you, like.
Pumi turbo 50-45.
To anybody. Like,
last fight was a finish.
His last fight was a finish, yeah. Like,
I thought he went to a decision for some reason. I went back and I looked. I was like, oh yeah, he did.
He choked the guy out.
Choked
before that.
I want him to pound him out.
Yeah, I know. I think that would have made it even. That's what I'm saying. I think it's not even like the submit. They want violence. Like.
What do you mean by that?
What
do you mean by that?
Definitely should have pounded him out. Pause.
What do you mean by that? Aspinall.
Wow,
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Well,
dude, this is
Aspinall.
Be a long podcast.
So yeah, the 1, 2. I'm just saying this learning those shot selections. I think is going to be very imperative just for growth.
Last, aside from that, you were talking about like finding the parts of like the head. There's like an old Faraz Hobby video where he's like holding like a fake skull, like it's like a dummy skull, and he's like talking about that too. Like he'd have guys like try to like aim at specific parts of them while he's moving, and like, all right, like you want to break their nose, like you got to aim right here. You want to hit them right on the chin. You want to hit them right on the temple. Like you have to not even just hit them, but like you have to try to aim where you want to hit them. So, because again, that was kind of the whole idea. Like you want to aim for these specific parts because you can like hit a guy here all day. That guy's gonna take that punch no problem because especially even like you're saying, like he's got a good shell, but let's say his hands are up. Can you get around that guard? Can you get right on the chin regardless, right on the nose? Like someplace that will make them react a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I am blown away by defenses like Yan, defenses like Cheeto, defenses like who else?
Nas we were talking about, like
even Nas. I mean, there were some moments where he was able to get through his guard. Sean Strickland does a relatively good job with defending and blocking. But when guys get hit and they get touched on those certain pinpoint spots, they just get put out. And for me, like I was saying, like I'm not gonna be that guy who's gonna be looking to do that, but I'm looking to maximize where I'm throwing my shots, shot selection, and then when I do land, or if I get close to it, then looking to transition into what I'm more known for doing, just being elusive and being able to inflict damage. Your job is to come now, bring the fight. You get over aggressive. I take you down. Either get on your back or finish the fight from the ground. So I don't know. That's kind of like some of the stuff that I'm looking at for like a personal, individual growth standpoint.
It's always funny that you kind of like always lay out the blueprint, like what you're looking to do. And like,
I mean, I don't think it's really like
it shouldn't be
like a secret.
I know, but I think it should be like one barrier to entry. That the bare minimum they should know that before they fight you. But I don't know. Sometimes
it's like going into like if your opponent throws a lot of leg kicks and to know that you don't check leg kicks coming in is kind of silly. It's like I mean, I only talk about what I do all the time, and I think if you look at the history,
well, it's like
I do different ways of getting to where I want to be, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm trying to do ultimately. But yeah, phenomenal win for them. I think that's their third UK champion. Bisping, Leon Edwards,
and him,
and now Aspinall. That's sick.
2 right now, currently in the UFC. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
So Bisping fucking riled up for that. It's pretty awesome.
I saw John Jones is subtle, passive, aggressive.
Congrats, interim champ.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Johnny.
Come on, John, just let him have it. Like,
just let him have it, Johnny.
It's fine, bro. It's good.
His story is crazy too. I posted something to my story. I saw something again that reminded me what happened to him last year, where he tore his knee.
Yeah.
And he was out for a whole year. He was with Bisping on the way out, and then to see Bisping with him now.
How sick is that?
That's,
come on.
I felt that. Because he went right from that pretty much. He won his other fight and then came to a title fight. Well, for me, I won the belt by DQ, had to get neck surgery from Jan dumping me on my head, getting kneed in the head, and from the training from earlier when Gustavo cranked on my neck going into the fight. So it was like all these things compounded, shit performance. And then after that, having to sit out for a year and only having to be able to focus on rehab and physical therapy, it's pretty much the same thing. To just solely focus on that for just about a year before I'm able to actually get into the octagon and return. And then to go in there and to do what I actually said to the world, like they call me crazy, oh, you're delusional, oh, you're getting it. I'm like, yeah, I know I got my ass kicked. I said that. I admit that. I'm very truthful in my assessments of myself and about other people. I think he's good. I just didn't think he was the best guy. I'm telling you, I said it was a bad rehydration, and that's why I felt like I had to get him out of there early.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, I knew I was gonna lose regardless. So I was like, if I could scum him,
like
I did Corey Sandhagen in the first round. If I could do that, I'm getting lucky. And then if I don't, I knew it was gonna be a rough night. It was a rough night. Hindsight's 2020. It worked out where it was like, oh, I got kneed in the head. That sucked, but I got more money. I got pay-per-view points, and I got a chance to have one of the biggest comebacks. And to go and win it, I felt all the emotions he was feeling because it touched me. I was like, damn, man. I know what that feels like, because that's when you feel like many people probably turn their back on you, even close to home, and you're just like, damn, you almost feel like you're alone. But to go out there and then win it after having that setback and that adversity is kind of like, it was cool. So I appreciate his journey.
Yeah.
And I was happy he won. I like Pavlovich as well.
Yeah.
He's a marauder, but it was just one of those things. It's like whoever lands first is going out.
And at heavyweight. Like we talk about 4-ounce gloves in general.
Put the other guy out,
Yeah, like the 4-ounce gloves for a 125 guy, it's still 4-ounce gloves for a 265-pound guy.
Yeah,
like
it's nuts.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Other than that, man, I don't have much on the main event, co-main. Other than that, I mean, there were some other fun, notable fights.
Yeah, Andrade, like she does what she does, fucking swung.
Bro, it was crazy because Mackenzie.
Modern, yeah.
Modernzy Curran, Denzi Mech. It looked like she made the decision to go, I'm gonna bite down my mouthpiece, I'm about to throw some shit at this chick. And then she did that, and she was piecing her up. And Andrade came back with 1 and 2.
And she's like, oh no.
And just dropped her. I'm just like, yo, that's just the ultimate equalizer.
Yeah,
It's just,
that's what I always say in females MMA too. Like, I just think if you can just hit hard, like you are in the 1%. Because I feel like no, it sucks. Because like
It's crazy.
it's tough in men's MMA too. Obviously, like if you can fucking like sit down, but like I think with girls specifically, like I hope that's not a sexist thing to say, but like I think for a lot of girls they don't really have that fucking power, that pop.
Ooh,
You know,
you getting canceled?
I know. But like, think about the Andrades, the Amanda Nunes, like even Amanda Nunes, who's I would say the female goat of women's MMA. You know, technically she's good, like she's solid, but you can't be watching that and be like, well, that's Corey Sandhagen, that's fucking Dillashaw, that's like these guys that are fucking like, you know, no, that can move, like, but she can just crack, you know, she can thump.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I think that can be a huge equalizer, especially in women's MMA.
Yeah, especially Sean Strickland in women's MMA.
Oh man,
You see him and Valentina?
That was crazy. Oh my god.
Sean is the hero.
No. I don't know what he might be the hero, he might be the villain, but
He's a little bit of both.
he makes it fun. I'll give him credit for that. You know.
I don't think he means anything bad by it, even though he is shitting on an entire.
Oh my lord! No. He went
category.
crazy.
Definitely meant something bad.
I'm trying to make him look a little bit better. I'm trying to paint him in a better light.
Now look,
He already buried himself. I'm sorry.
he bet, dude. That's crazy. On
Mike
Twitter.
Sean, I can't join your pact on this
Did you
one.
see how he like deaded it though?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I just went and sparred for like 10 rounds, and the demons are gone. So I'm sorry, Valentina."
Respect.
And then she was like, "Thank you for realizing your mistake." And then she had the pistol emoji.
Look, it is. Yeah.
She's funny, man. I like her. Who were we just talking about though?
Andrade.
That was a good fight.
And then before that was Favola, obviously. That was a tough one.
You know, one thing about that fight, it was happening on Veterans Day, and then two guys who served their country competing.
Man.
This part choked me up when Maddie gets up.
Come on, man. You don't think? Nah, dude. That's
I
fucking.
had to fight it back. I was like, damn, son.
Nah, like that's what I'm
That's
saying.
the
Like,
boys' club right there.
I wish the UFC like was able to show everyone's like Matt's personality better. Like I don't know how people don't like people.
I think they don't get it.
I don't think they get it.
I didn't get it at
No,
first.
listen, once you meet the guy, once you get to know him a little bit, dude, Favola's that guy.
I'm like, yo, bro, you are hilarious.
Nah, he might be the funniest motherfucker in MMA. Like he's actually like he is amazing. I wish people could understand this better. Like he is just he's the man. He is and he said himself, dude, that's the sport. Like it's just there's nothing like it. And again, what you were saying too, like that is who Favola is. Like right after the fight, after a vicious fight like that, he just gets up. He's like, bro, on Veterans Day, salute, brother. Like that's it. Gives the guy a hug. How fucking amazing is that? Like that is who Favola is, like through and through.
It was just like stoic because they both like, even though Favola's doing it, this guy's like, yo, this guy's. I can only imagine what Denise is thinking in his head. Like, is this guy serious?
Right now, yeah, like holy.
And it's like, yeah, this guy is actually like him.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
Nah, he's that guy. That's what he is. That guy. Like really, like.
Yeah.
And I love what Saint Denis said too. Like at the end of the day, bro, like this is a sport. Like this guy is a fucking human being. He's genuine. Like I just think that's the coolest thing about it. Like, everyone doesn't have to pretend to hate each other. Like that was just two guys who had absolute respect for each other and just for as short as it was, had a fucking fight. They fought.
Yeah, he just made that one mistake circling out, and I feel like he's done that a couple of other times, but no one's ever like
didn't pay for it.
Yeah, even in the room, but
yeah,
it's a small mistake, but it's one of those small mistakes that could cost you big. It's like the same thing. I overextend on a punch, and I'm trying to chase a guy who's super long, super bouncy, and he's elusive, can step back and crack. The one thing like I knew, but at the same time I'm still doing a silly mistake and handing it to him on a silver platter for him to just catch me coming in and hit a beautiful counter. Now this, it's not really a counter, but what do we say whenever we train, whenever we work in classes, anytime we disengage, we have to be defensively responsible and we have to be looking to be offensive. The same way we teach wrestling, whenever we take a guy down or a guy
shoots in on you,
or we start top and bottom. Now, if you get to your feet and the guy mat returns you, usually there's a pause where the guy's like trying to like catch his breath or trying to rest, and then you have to chain and go to something else, because if you take that rest, it allows the guy on bottom to build back up and escape or catch you in between when you're relaxing. So it's that moment of disengagement where you need to capitalize on the opportunity where Saint Denis was able to do that. And Favola, he threw the knee and then he just tried to it is what it is. I mean, we all saw it. It's just one of those things, and it's just unfortunate that the foot managed to get there. He throws kicks.
Yeah.
He just said F it, threw the kick, and caught him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Frivola, that's what everyone knows what like they're supposed to do. It's just tough in that scenario too. Like again, he kneed
They're
off
fighting.
and you're in a fist fight. Like again, like if you listen to Frivola all leading up to
Willfully.
no, it's a volunteer army. That is true.
It's a-
But like you circle into that. He said that too. If I circle into that power side, there's literally only one thing that guy's looking to do. It's the kick. And he was circling out that way, and there was literally one thing. That's kind of what you talk about all. It just again, that's the sport, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately, look again, all the respect in the world to Saint Denis. Like that's how the cookie crumbles both ways. Frivola could have caught him with the right hand, and it could have been just lights out. And that's just how.
Dude, it was looking good too.
It was looking like I texted Mongo right after. I'm like, I thought this was about to be a fucking barn burner. Like I thought this might steal Nas's fight of the night. Like,
yeah, dude.
Because it was immediately just off the jump. Fucking, they were going.
Yeah, Matt just fights like that.
He fights. That's what I mean. Like the UFC has got to push this guy for that alone. Every time he steps in there, he'll fight. Like no question about it.
Yeah. Were there any other ones other than that? I know that we have the Nas Slav fight. Slav did a great job with like landing the calf kicks.
Yep.
I don't know. We were trying to tell Nas to return, but then it was almost like Slav just felt when he was going to throw the calf kicks, and he kind of just did that little hollow out step and getting his leg out of the way, and then Nas couldn't really land any leg kicks. But then round 2 when he came and
I thought that was
when they broke apart, and I saw Slav.
Holy shit!
I was like, "Whoa! Something landed!" I just jump up.
The head kick right after too.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fact that Slav even just ate that, I'm like, holy fuck. Then there's a front kick. I don't even remember when the front kick happened, but
No,
I'm
he
like,
punted his face,
dude,
bro.
that was the Michael Chandler fucking Tony Ferguson front kick, except the guy stood up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, again, that 100% deserved fight of the night. That was a fucking barn burner. That was a fight.
I cannot imagine what I was watching. I could not believe it. Just watching Nas and Slav go at it toe to toe. I'm like, dude, just take him down and ice the round, please, please. Ice the round. Round 3 is ours. We win. We go home.
Now,
We go home.
yeah, I think both guys' stock. That's one of those like both stocks should rise from that.
No, 100%. And Slav, I think he's happy that he's finally got a dance partner that was willing to stand with him for as long as he did.
Really, no, they both. I think that's the thing. Like, what Slav's like some sort of world champion kickboxer, whatever that means anymore. But like, he is clearly phenomenal on the feet, and the fact that Nas was able to show that, dude, like I can stand with this guy, no problem. And again, he has other skills too. Like for him, I think it's just a really good growing fight in that sense, where it's like.
But think about this. Think about how good Slav is, his striking is, and how good we know Nas' striking to be. He doesn't have the longest arms, right? Mm-hmm. But we know he can crack. We know he has good slipping ribs, good combinations, good under overs. Mm-hmm. And then Slav switching stances, southpaw orthodox, landing some nice 1-2s, going to the body, landing the calf kick, spinning Nas around, and then after being hurt, being able to come back. And then I think that shows a lot of where his fight ability is at. So I would imagine if anyone wants to watch a super technical striker, I would watch him.
Absolutely.
I knew the guy was good, but I never seen him strike really because he always got taken down.
Yeah.
For the most part, always got taken down or pushed against the cage.
Or like he just finished the guy, or the guy didn't give them enough of a pushback where you're like, oh man, that's what this guy can do on the feet. But this fight, like, again, just the fact that Slav got hurt and had to come back from that alone, like, dude, what a fight.
And I was telling him, I was like, yo, let the world know who the fuck you are today. Like, this is your night to show the world who Nassim is. Like, let them know.
I think people got a good idea of that. Yeah.
And on top of that, and I even told him in the background, I was like, yo, dude, don't forget, like, don't think we need, I don't know if the game plan was, we spoke about it a little bit. He wanted to strike a little bit just to get to the point where he wanted to get to his takedowns and make it a smoother night. That's what we talked about.
Yeah.
But I said, dude, even if you don't feel the takedown, it's like, just remember, you can strike with anybody.
1000%.
Like,
Clearly.
You can strike with anybody. Yeah. Maybe not so much me. I'm going to be circling. I'm not engaging. But your style, this is what you're actually good at. This is what you do. But it was just a fun fight, man. I thought both guys earned some gems. They've earned a lot of respect from the fans. Fight of the night, that's going to be a fight that they're going to show for years to come.
Yeah.
I think Nas is going to be able to go back and watch that and be like, yo, let me show you one of my best fights ever.
Yeah.
His kids.
Absolutely.
Like, that's nice.
That's awesome.
That's
cool actually, yeah. And again, overall, I thought a phenomenal card. Really, I thought came to MSG. UFC kind of killed it with that one,
I didn't see the Sabatini fight. I did, but I was taking pictures at Sucker Punch where we were at, so I didn't really get to watch. But it looked like it was a quick one, right? 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
I went
Oh, yeah, you were there. You were with us.
I went to go do something. I came back.
And it was over. Yeah,
That was,
it's crazy.
I mean, Diego
Yo,
Lopez, the guy's good.
But he's a 45er.
That guy does not look like a 45.
I asked people. I was like,
5'11"?
I go, look at this guy. This is who they want me to fight.
That's
And they go,
a
oh
tough
yeah,
one.
but he's thin. I'm like, I don't give a shit how thin he is.
He didn't look that thin in there. Like he looked.
Guy's a big dude.
I'll tell you, like he puts like he got Sabatini in this throw. I was like, dude, Sabatini is a solid grappler. Like he is without question. I thought, if anything, Sabatini would have the strength advantage to be able to kind of control it a little bit, like if it got to the grappling situations. But once he kind of threw Sabatini to the ground, I'm like, oh my goodness, like this guy's a fucking monster. Like this guy,
man.
this is gonna be tough out for anybody.
I gotta watch that fight again just to kind of see some of the exchanges. I only saw the very end when he cracked him and then pretty much put him away.
Yeah.
Because his jiu-jitsu is A1.
And he just goes for it. It's like Charles Oliveira style, jumping on submissions. Like the
Yeah.
guy that's a fun fighter.
I'm just like, dude, those are the type of guys I'm gonna need to fight. It's a lot of work.
They might give you the Izzy treatment. Just fucking fight this one top guy, and then you're right there. You know, like that'd be pretty cool.
Well, breaking news, I was offered Cater. Amongst three others, two other guys were actually friends, so I said, respectfully, I would actually like to decline those. One of them was coming off of a loss. Cater was the highest ranking opponent out of all of them.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
But-
Jake, were you aware that he was about to break news?
No.
But yo, he's big, bro.
Cater is big. By the way, this is I want to really quickly, like, I know the other matchups Aldo was offered. This guy is, I don't think people understand what kind of person Aldo is. This is fascinating. Like, I think out of the 3 matchups he was offered, Cater arguably could be the worst matchup for him. And he's like, I don't really want to fight the other 2 guys because I like them. I'm like, dude, this guy's now, I'll tell you, Aldo is
so
fucking
true.
a fucking gem, guys. Come on, how ridiculous is that? Like
Cater's scary.
Cater can. The other guys could. This is ridiculous.
I know
like,
Aljo could beat those.
nah, that's why I'm almost like, that's fascinating. But that's, again, respect. Like, that is.
That's crazy.
And again, Cater. What was his last fight? His last fight. What wasn't Emmett? Was it?
Giga?
That was his knee.
Nah.
Giga Chikadze?
Oh no, he beat Giga, but then he lost to Cater or not Cater, to Emmett, which is controversial, and then he lost to with the knee. You're right. Not
He beat Ige. He lost to Cater. He keep calling Cater.
Yeah.
Cater. He lost to Giga. Or he beat
Giga. Yeah, that was the one after the Holloway fight where he came back, lost to beat Giga, and then he had, I thought, 2 more. Emmett, controversial. I thought he beat Emmett, and then that young kid, Arnold Allen, he jumped in the air and then landed on his knee and it fucking popped like a twig. That sucks, right?
8 seconds into round 2.
Yeah, right. Now,
I don't remember what happened with that.
He just like kind of landed on his leg weird. And
just popped.
and
Like,
it popped, and that was it.
that was gonna be a great
But
fight
landed
too.
from like what type of transition?
I think he was like, maybe he was like jumping at him, like
Maybe
almost like a
like threw a
Superman
kick or
kick, something, or like Superman punch, something awkward where he like landed and just like the angle or just fucked his leg up.
I'm gonna watch again. Like I don't know. Like I carry the weight well, where I feel like I don't feel that big. And I think when I stand next to these 45ers, I don't feel like we're the same size.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Like this morning, I was 67.5.8.
Okay. No, look, I think you were. It's I think in an ideal situation, I think you'd be like one of those in betweeners, like not 135, not 140.
It
like
sucks,
we have a
man.
lot of guys at the gym that are like that. Like Delemy, he's a 145er, but he, at 150, I think he feels like he'd be much more ideal.
At what, 45?
At 50, if there's like a 150
Oh,
weight
50,
class,
yeah.
you know, like it's just a couple pounds, like a buffer, but like it's not again, like when you're dying to make every ounce, I do get it, but I don't think Aljo would be a small 45er. I don't think he'd be out strength at 145.
Strength, I'm not, honestly, I'm really not worried about the strength part. I think I
it'd
could
just be
do
more of the general, like, I think you have, it's funny, we had the conversation about the John Jones-Alexander Gustafsson fight, where it's like, okay, like, John Jones beat up everybody, and then the UFC tried to, like, market his first Gus fight, like, oh, but these guys have the same reach. And I remember I was saying at the time, like, that's a stupid argument. Like, that's the only argument they have for me to watch this fight. John's going to run through this guy. And Aljo was telling me, like, bro, I thought that was fascinating. Like, this guy actually has a similar build to John Jones. Like, this
And
could
age.
that could make it interesting. And obviously, it ended up becoming fight of the fucking century. But I think it might be. I think that's kind of what you're almost alluding to a little bit, like a lot of these guys are gonna have now, like you don't have necessarily the the length advantage, the reach advantage. You might think make things more difficult for your style.
Yeah, like I like Cater. I think Cater's a stand-up dude. I'm just not really looking to go up and take a chance. Just like I don't mind taking a chance, but I'm not going up to say, hey, I'm coming here for second place. Like if I go up, I'm going up to be number one. Like there's no half-assing this process of going up in a weight class. So that's the thing I have to figure out. So I'm supposed to go to the PI this week and do some testing and see what my numbers look like compared to everybody else. Like I don't pride myself in being the fastest, strongest, most athletic or smartest guy when it comes to sports. Like individual stuff, I've never been the best in any one category, but I think I do a pretty damn good job of just being able to show up on game day and put it together. And that's really it. So
If
I just don't want to hit Cater and then it goes like he doesn't feel it.
I get that, I do get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm fighting 35. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't punch hard because I'm not trying to. But when I hit the pads the way I've been hitting the pads lately, I'm like, why don't I just hit someone like that? Like, what would happen?
Yeah.
I would love to see what would actually happen if I just sit down the way I've been hitting pads and just crack someone for once. It's like just a real fuck you. Like actually going there with the mentality
Of doing that.
instead of, well, I'm gonna look to strike just a little so I can get to the leg, and then once I get you back, you're either gonna panic, or I'm gonna get to a position where I can either beat the crap out of you on the ground, or I can submit you. That's pretty much the game plan, the mentality.
Yeah.
I try to make the fight as streamlined as possible, but working with Dean Thomas, looking at some stuff, doing some reflecting and analyzing stuff, I'm just like, I think it's just got to be a mindset switch. Cause I'm like, dude, I feel like if I hit a 45 the way I was like hitting pads like of late, I can't see no reason why someone's not being rocked or sat down.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
that's my personal opinion.
I mean, I hold pads for like 45ers, 55ers. I wouldn't say, I don't think there's a difference between like what you're doing, what Dennis, like in terms of like what I feel. I
Yeah.
don't feel any difference. Like in terms of like, oh shit, like these guys are cracking. Aldo's not, you know, I think you're doing the same thing. It just, when you sit down on a punch, like, so I'm saying, I think everyone knows mechanically what to do, like how to do it. It just depends on if it's your style, and I'm not necessarily recommending that would be what you want to do against the Calvin Cater.
No.
But, yeah, right. Like I just want to make that clear.
Respectfully.
But no, if you sit down in a punch, like dude, with those 4-ounce gloves, that's what I'm trying to say. Like it might not be most conducive to your style of putting a guy down, but you know, you're gonna hurt somebody. I think that's no question. Now, are you gonna hurt them enough to deter them from moving forward? Are you gonna like hurt them enough with where they're actually rocked? Like I don't know. That part, that's where
Dean Tom, when we were hitting pads last week at the hotels, he was just like, yo, bro. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Why are you
Aren't
not
cracking
doing
like
this to people? It was like you don't believe in your right hand. I'm like, well, I'm used to just jabbing and defending, jab and defend, jab defend, jab slip, jab slip. That's just always been my style. I was like, I never really had the time to develop the comfortability of letting the hands go and knowing that I might need to take one to give one or that type of thing. I just never trained like that. It's always been, I'm always just the elusive guy.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I think to Dean's credit too, like I think you're good enough to like you see the opportunity, like you train yourself enough to be like, oh, there's that opportunity. I'm gonna fucking sit down on this right hand. Like this guy leaves it. You know, I think you're good enough to do that against anybody.
I don't know, man. I feel like
I'm not saying it's not risky. Like I think
no, of course.
Yeah.
I'm saying like I don't know in the sense of like sometimes I've seen those openings, but because of my style, I'm just like it's more. I'm okay on not taking that risk. Whereas like it's different when like I see some of the grapplers who are so grapple heavy, but then they won't do anything when they take a guy down. I'm like, well, what was the point?
Yeah.
Like you have the best position where you can actually beat somebody up and do damage, and take the least amount of damage, like statistically.
Yeah. Talking about that Derek Lewis fight from last week.
Well, that's one of them,
Yeah,
but just in
yeah.
general, even like some of the overseas style.
Oh, that's
where
true too. You're in a dominant. Yeah, I
they
get
just
you.
kind of ride safe, and I feel like they have a lot of opportunity and room to. I don't know if it's a fear of getting tired or fear of making a mistake, losing the position. Like me, I'm confident in my jiu-jitsu. Well, I don't care if I end up on my back. It's fine. So I guess that's the mindset difference between how they do stuff and how I do stuff versus a striker and a grappler. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting because I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna get through this week.
If they say your numbers are, if you say your numbers are like whatever, comparable to all the other 45ers? Would you try to put on muscle, or would you try to?
Dean suggested not to.
Interesting.
I was telling him, I was like, dude, I'm 66. I was like, I feel like I'm not that far from 35. I was like, I feel like I'm too small for 45. He was like, man, you crazy. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you guys got to get out of this. He was like, you got to get out of the mentality of just thinking about your weight all the time and thinking about, am I big enough or the strength? I'm like, dude, it's skill, conditioning, and technique. And just, that's really it.
You always said too, like that, killing yourself to make 35. You always felt like that kind of took a lot out of you in the fight. Like
lately.
But now, not having to cut that much weight, you'd think you'd have more juice to push the pace. You
I
can
think
do.
so.
Yeah, I would think anybody would think so, right? Like especially, again, like you just do what you do at the gym. Again, it's not the same necessarily. Well, it is the same, but it's not the same. In front of people, whatever. But you do what you do at the gym for 10+ rounds of fucking hard, like nonstop go. I really don't know.
I don't see who could keep up with that.
Yeah.
I really don't. That's just my opinion.
Again, you have the juice to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was all the fights, right? We said Diego.
Yeah,
I mean, Dennis, obviously, that didn't go well. His first fight of the night. That was a tough one to swallow. Pause.
No, we talked about it. Dennis is 26. He's young.
Yeah, we did kind of touch on it
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah. And obviously, we talked about Merab's comparison.
Yeah.
So, I think that's pretty much it. Jake, you got anything for the people?
Wow.
No.
The reactions did pretty good. That was actually fun. I didn't even think anything of it. It was just sure, let's see how it looks. I don't know what it was gonna
I
look
saw
like.
the video. It looked cool.
But it actually looked kind of fun.
Actually here too, like.
Which was kind of wild.
Yeah. So you watched the video?
Not the whole video.
Yeah.
I just watched some of the clips that you put out.
Wait, do I look like Glenn from The Walking Dead? By the way, I keep saying I do, right? I do.
No,
Dude,
definitely.
You should just be him for Halloween.
I was him for a Halloween. But that's when. Oh man, that's when Walking Dead was actually big. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think people still even cared about that show. But yeah, I know with the long hair.
I mean, that's a legendary show.
Glenn was our guy.
It's like one of the most viewed shows ever.
Yeah, but once Glenn died, I think they definitely lost the whole continent of viewers. Like,
Yeah.
That's an hour. By the way.
oh wow, sorry.
Speaking of, I am looking at a house in East Meadow,
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. That'd be
but there's no basement. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
all on one floor.
So if anyone's looking to rent, I'm your guy. Other than that, guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe. Be safe. See you guys soon. Hopefully I have some more updates for you guys, what I'm going to be doing next for my career. Also, I'm going to be grappling. Let me actually text the guy. I'll text him as soon as this is over.
Just fucking making announcements out of nowhere.
December 30th, I should be grappling at Cage Fury against, I think, the guy that Merab beat.
Oh, nice.
And they got all mad.
Yeah.
And then he called me out. I was kind of confused. I was like, bro,
Oh, this is about to be hilarious. All right.
you don't want the smoke. You don't want the smoke.
This is gonna be cool. Oh, man's about to be training like it's a world championship fight. For
Oh,
the
yeah.
other guy.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is hilarious.
Like you're getting
Let's go.
And I might do 80XC in Abu Dhabi also.
That's not ADCC. It's something different.
Nah, it's something different.
Wow.
I just got to see with the dates because I might
Is
have
that
to
what
corner
Ben Henderson
Merab.
did?
Who?
Ben Henderson? I thought he did.
Yeah. Over there.
Nice.
But I think it's supposed to be either in Abu Dhabi or Brazil. We're gonna, I don't know, one of them.
Let's go.
Other than that, guys, I'll keep you guys updated with the goods. Thank you for always tuning in. Much love. Thank you to our guests.
Glenn from Walking Dead.
Glad from Walking Dead.
At Teven We.
At
You know,
Teven We.
you know how it goes.
All right. Peace.